Alright guys, so we got another session here, and this time a leg session. This is my legs A session, which is more quad focused, and as you can see I'm starting out with the adductor machine, which I actually do on both sessions. On this session I go a little bit heavier, around the 8 to 10 rep range, but I just do one working set. And I found that if I did more than one working set, I just wasn't recovering before my next leg session. So that's why I actually am only doing one working set. But I did actually two warm-up sets, which is what I usually do on the adductor machine. And then I go into the working set. And as you can see, I'm trying to really control the weight, get a good stretch, and then get a full contraction there. And I was actually, I think, down one rep from previous session, unfortunately, but I just did what I could do, and this is what I was able to do today. But as you can see, I'm just owning the weight, getting a good stretch, and then when I can't complete another rep, the set is done. So yeah, I try to get a really good stretch on these and really just maintain control of each part of the rep. And you can see here now, second, we got the leg extension. So I actually had to use a different leg extension than the one I've been using, and so this one's a little different. This gym has two different leg extensions, and this one's a little bit different, so I wasn't really sure what weight to use or exactly how to set up the seat, so I had to play around with that on the warm-up sets. But this is my top set. Typically in my top set I'm doing a 6 to 10 rep range set, and yeah, this was, as you can see here, I'm just really locked in. And look at the positioning here. I'm making sure that my core is braced. I'm holding onto the handles, being really stable. And I'm owning each portion of the rep. And yeah, once I can't complete another good rep, the set is done. But these felt really good. This machine, this leg extension machine actually feels super good. I actually might need to start using this one. This one felt super good. And here's my back off set, which typically is in the 12 to 15 rep range here. I typically just do two working sets for leg extensions. But as you can see here, one key is I'm really thinking about pulling myself into the seat, first of all, so my butt doesn't lift up. And I'm also really thinking about my torso positioning. Even on the leg extension here, I'm really thinking about my core and bracing my core so that I can really maintain stability. And another thing you're seeing here is look at how I'm controlling the weight as I come down. So I'm trying to be as stable as possible so that I can get more reps out of the set. So that's one thing to think about. Even on a leg extension, sometimes we don't think about what our core is doing. We think more about what our legs are doing. But trust me, if you start thinking more about bracing your core, even on these isolation movements, you will get more out of your sets. But that actually felt really good. Like I said, this is a different leg extension than the one I've been using, but nonetheless, it was really solid. And so here's the third movement I did, which is the seated hamstring curl. So I did 3 working sets here, and this is the top set, which typically is in the 8 to 10 rep range. The back off sets are typically in the 12 to 15 rep range. I actually had to drop the weight, I believe, like 10 pounds from last session just because I really wanted to make sure that I got at least 8 reps. And so I think I dropped the weight 10 pounds. And yeah, I think I got like 9 reps here. But as you can see, look at how I'm controlling the eccentric as I'm coming up. Then I'm really going to get full contraction at the bottom. Again, even here, you'll see here is look at my torso positioning. I'm really thinking about even what my glutes are doing. I'm thinking about engaging my glutes, and I'm thinking about my core being braced. And look at my hands. I'm pushing myself so that I'm basically, what I'm doing with my hands is I'm ensuring that my butt is staying down in the seat and I'm not sliding up at all. I want to be as stable as possible. And you can see, look at the contractions. Every rep I'm trying to get a full contraction. And I'm also controlling the weight as I come up. So when you control the weight as you change direction, that's going to ensure that you can actually get more reps out of the set. So here's the third working set here. So I actually filmed all 3 working sets. And so essentially, the heaviest set is going to be that first set. And then I drop the weight a bit for the second set to make sure I'm hitting at least 12 to 15 reps. And then I'll drop it again on that final set to ensure I'm still getting at least 12 reps. But look how I'm really thinking about my core. I'm thinking about engaging my core even on hamstring curl. I'm really being mindful of that every single rep. So your body positioning when you're doing these isolation movements is really important. So that's one thing to think about. And just think about the control I'm doing here. This is every session. This is what I'm doing. And again, I'm just trying to get as many reps as I can get. So these felt really good. Really solid. This is actually a pretty solid hamstring curl. And so now you can see, now we got the hack squats here. So this is my top set. I actually went up 10 pounds from last week. And for the top set, I'm typically doing 6 to 8 reps. And what I've recently been doing is I've been having a slight pause at the bottom for my top set. I only got 5 reps here, which last week I was doing 10 pounds less and I got 6 reps. So I still consider overall a win. So yeah, overall, it definitely felt hard, but I'm still considering it a win. And yeah, so I do resets at the top here, so I'm resting a bit at the top before I go back down on the top set. But then I do get a slight pause at the bottom of each rep here. So that definitely felt heavy for me. But I'm very weak at this hack squat right now, unfortunately. Definitely looking forward to when I start pushing my body weight up. I'm looking forward to really actually getting good at this hack squat, because right now I kind of suck at it. But I'm still taking some progressions gradually here. So here's the back off set. And so what you'll see here is on the back off set, I don't pause at the bottom. But what I've been doing is I've been doing continuous reps. So what that means is on the back off set, I try to actually not rest at the top. So you'll see here what I mean by that. Essentially, once I get up to the top, I come right back down. I try to keep that tempo constant throughout the whole set. And essentially, I try to do as many reps as I can do while keeping that tempo. And once I get to a point where I do a rep where I'm very confident that I wouldn't be able to do another rep with that same tempo, then I consider the set done. But this was actually good. I actually did the same weight as last session for the back off set, but I actually got one more rep. So that was actually a win. So yeah, I'm just trying to really keep that tempo. And as you can see, look at how the rep really slowed down there as I was coming up. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get another rep with that same tempo, so the set was done. So now we got the leg press, and on this session, I had my feet placement lower compared to on the other leg session because I want to bias the quads a bit more. So this is the top set, and I actually went up 10 pounds from last week on this top set. I only got 7 reps though, which I'm mad because normally the goal for me is to get at least 8 reps. Typically 8 to 10 reps on this top set. But I only got 7. I probably actually could have done an 8th. I'm still trying to really get used to this foot positioning on this leg press too. I've been using this leg press. Maybe it's been over a month now for sure. A bit over a month, but still trying to kind of get used to it. It's kind of weird because the platform is a little awkward. When you bring your feet really low, when you have your feet really low, the platform it's hard to tell from this camera angle, but it's really narrow, and so it just feels a little uncomfortable. But as you can see here, this is the back off set, and for the back off set, I'm actually doing pauses at the bottom of each rep, and then I try to not rest so much. I try to do continuous reps on the back off, so I'll pause at the bottom, and then right when I come back up, I try to basically come right back down, and these are no joke. These are definitely no joke. Very tough here. So I went up 10 pounds from last week on the back off, and this was very good. I think I hit 12 reps, which the goal is like 10 to 12 reps on the back off. And like I said, on the back off set of the leg presses for this session, I like to do pauses at the bottom, and then I'll do the continuous reps where I don't rest at the top. And then for the top set, as you saw, I was resetting at the top. So I do have like a standard like tempo and form for these sets, and I try to pretty much stick to that, session to session. But this was a good set here. I'm happy with this. And yeah, with this lower foot placement, it's definitely harder. This leg press is harder. On the other leg session, I actually do a higher foot placement, and I can do significantly more weight. So yeah, this is definitely harder when you have this lower foot placement like this. And of course, obviously the pauses definitely make it tough. But yeah, definitely good session here. I also did, after this, I actually did seated calf raises, which I actually did not film 3 working sets. And then I did, what did I do? I did split squats. So I did 1 set of split squats in the 12 to 15 rep range, which I unfortunately could not film because it was so crowded in where the benches are. But just essentially dumbbell split squats. I have my one leg supported with a bench. And yeah, hopefully maybe next leg session I film, I can get some footage of those. But those overall felt good. Like I said, I did 1 working set of them. But yeah, that was the session. You guys got to see pretty much everything I normally do other than the calf raises and the split squats. But other than that, that's everything I typically have been doing. So hope you guys enjoyed it. And that's another episode of The Reset.